got the call that night on December 25th, 2011. The call that would change my life forever. Not that it would go on much longer without you. I felt the cold winter breeze slice through my throat as I tried to scream when I arrived at the scene of the wreck that used to be your car. I dropped to my knees in bitter agony as the white glistening snow crunched around me like cracking bones. After that, I don't remember the night very clearly. In fact, it feels like it was ripped out of my very memory. It was a lovely evening, but you had left and gone somewhere. You weren't dead, however. I refused everyone's lies because I knew that you were still out there somewhere. So I went searching. I went searching for you, Sandra. Now, the only fragments of you left from that night have faded to ash and dust. I knew that you couldn't be dead because death wasn't real. To say someone dies might imply that everything just goes to the dark despair of invisible sins after they shuffle off their mortal coil. But I knew there had to be more to it than that. I knew that life was something everlasting, in bliss and harmony. That when you were gone from this world, you were just somewhere else, somewhere better. Sandra, I searched and I searched. I searched for so long. I searched all corners of almost every realm of cold and harsh darkness for you. But you weren't there. You were never there. I wanted to give up so badly, but I knew I couldn't let you go. Because if I did, I would lose myself again. I would get lost in the never-ending pits of the horrid desolation again. I dashed my way through so many shades of forlorn darkness to find you, Sandra, but none had any glorious light waiting for me. So I stopped looking. I just stopped and sat there inside the emotionless, cold, and brutal darkness, with my brittle bones rotting away inside of me, just waiting for their demise. As the darkness slowly crept towards me, I remembered your cheerful, joy-filled voice, which at that time only carried on in my memories. I grinned at the thought of seeing you again. There I sat, just pitying my own existence for days on end, thinking of you, Sandra, and how I'd never get to see you again. Sandra, you taught me to get through thousands of days of endless darkness, but without you, I was worthless. I couldn't even find you. I was not meant for this world. I was meant for darkness. I was meant to be worthless. I was meant for death. That was how it should have been. I should have paid for my worthless existence with my cadaver and soul, for just being there to take up space on the plane of existence. I knew all this was true, and yet I didn't want to give up once I heard sirens. Whether it was human instinct or just plain being greedy, I didn't know at the time. So yes, I tried to stay for myself. Everything was still black and getting darker, but I knew I could hear sirens and voices rattling about. Suddenly, a faint light out in the distance grew larger and larger ahead of me. It was no glorious light of absolution, but it was certainly warmer than the bitter despair I'd felt in the darkness. I tried to reach out, but my dissolving bones couldn't take it, and my arms lay silent on the ground. Next, I tried yelling and crying for help, but my jaw was misplaced and not enabled for use. My eyes started to singe as I began to sob. I slowly cracked my frail, dissolving bones into place and tried reaching up for the now fading light. My bones shifted in and out of place with every movement I made as I reached up towards the dimming light ahead of me. I screamed in pain and heard a long, loud beep before the soothing light grew to pitch black, just to fit the room. I fell to my knees, which hurt like hell, but I didn't care, for a new, even brighter light had started to develop over top of me. I just sat like that, watching as the light shone away the darkness and dried my acidic tears as a hand reached out before me. Suddenly, my body was completely restored, and I could reach back with ease. And I felt your warmth again, Sandra.